From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 9 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for starting your week with us. I'm Russ Riesinger. Montana bars and casinos may be open for business, but the governor's phase 2 COVID-19 guidelines remain in effect. So what happens if a business doesn't follow those directives? Well, Q2's Andrea Lutz has been digging into that very question and learns just because a complaint is made, there's not much legally that can be done about it.
At Warden's Casino up in the Billings Heights, machines have been going dark at 12:30.
When the governor rolled out his guidance, we did take it very seriously.
But it's not because Josh Benson, who owns 6 casinos in Billings, wants it that way. He says for now, it's in the best interest of his business.
Getting back to normal is as fast as we can is my top priority right now.
A top priority because each day he's losing out on customers.
When businesses around us stay open until 2 o'clock, when we close at 12:30, we do lose business. Customers will leave our establishment even before 12:30 to ensure that they get a seat at a casino or a gambling machine at 12:30.
It's because Benson says they're following the state's COVID-19 safety directive. So when he's witnessed others not doing the same thing, he's expressed frustration to the city, to the county, and even to the state.
You know, they essentially said that they've received a lot of complaints. They have forwarded them all to the county attorney, but as to their knowledge, nothing has been done about it as of yet.
Riverstone health officials say when a complaint comes in regarding a business they license, they have an investigative process. On the first complaint, health officials call and ask for compliance. On the second, the establishment is visited and asked to sign an agreement to comply. But by the third complaint, it's handed over to the county attorney's office.
You know, nothing's ever going to be 100% perfect, and there are always exceptions, there are always situations that come up. But I think for the most part, bars and restaurants have really excelled at trying to adhere to these requirements of doing everything they can because they want to keep their patrons safe too.
In-house counsel for Yellowstone County, Gina Lervik, takes it from there.
Almost all of the complaints have been ones that we've been able to resolve by talking with folks. And really that's what the governor's orders had contemplated, which helps it out a lot.
The governor's directive doesn't allow a complaint to actually result in the citation. So instead, repeated violators would have to be charged criminally in court. That also means the case would have to be strong enough to do so.
Because it's that significant of an issue, we're also very careful in making sure that we're following all of our requirements, that we're dotting I's and crossing T's and making sure that all avenues have been closed first.
Lervik says they aim to do public education first, which she believes has been successful. So far in Yellowstone County, there's been upwards of 990 complaints made concerning businesses and individuals not following the guidelines. 0 have been formally charged. Lervik says instead they've been warned and given a plan to work out the misunderstanding. But that's exactly what Benson says has him frustrated with the process.
You know, ultimately there's been a spike in Yellowstone County's COVID numbers, and I believe the health officer even related some of that surge to a couple of bars in town.
Again, his worry? The guidelines are in place with little to no enforcement of them.
If we're going to continue losing money and not being able to employ our staff, we may be forced to stay open until 2 o'clock if the county or the local police department chooses not to enforce the governor's guidelines.
In Billings, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.
Now, Andrea also checked in with Montana Tavern Association officials to see what sort of complaints are coming their way on the state level. In a statement, officials say they encourage all tavern operators to follow the laws in place. One student in the Billings Catholic school system has tested positive for COVID-19. Catholic school president Sean Harrington tells us there are 3 close contacts of the positive case. Public information is not known about which school the student attends, but the student's parents informed Catholic school administrators yesterday. The positive student and the 3 contacts have not yet attended in-person classes, which started today. Harrington says previously scheduled remote and in-person classes will continue as planned. Across the state today, Montana health authorities reported another 82 confirmed COVID-19 cases. Plus, late this afternoon, we've learned of another death in Bighorn County. That death, a man in his 70s, is the county's 16th death. As far as cases go, 27 of those are from Yellowstone County and 13 from Bighorn County. There are nearly 2,000 active cases right now in the state. There have been 106 deaths so far. 134 people are hospitalized. Well, the Montana Department of Health and Human Services has confirmed the state's first known case of multi-system inflammatory syndrome in a Teton County child. That patient is between the ages of 10 and 19 and received treatment at a children's hospital in Salt Lake City. The patient has since been released and is back in Montana recovering from the illness. More Montanans may now be eligible for monthly rent and mortgage assistance. Montana Housing has changed guidelines for the Emergency Housing Assistance Program. Those changes include reducing the household contribution calculation and eliminating the $10,000 in readily available assets limit in checking and savings accounts. The changes also include implementing a $250 per month minimum award. So far, nearly $2.5 million has been awarded through the program, helping more than 800 people. That program can provide rent, security deposits, and mortgage payment assistance for Montanans who've lost a job or substantial income as a result of COVID-19. Well, more than a week after a body was found in the Yellowstone River, officials are releasing the man's identity. A hunter found the body of 18-year-old Anthony Pettigo of Billings on August 22nd near the Custer Frontage Road. When deputies arrived, they found the body badly decomposed in a side channel. Pettigo was recently reported as a missing person. At this time, investigators do not believe that foul play was involved. COVID-19 is not putting a stop to adding new seasonal flights to and from Billings Logan International Airport. American Airlines will add direct flights to Phoenix, Arizona starting this November, and that will run until March of 2021. Airport Director Kevin Plone says he was surprised to hear about the additional flights, but says it's likely due to the popularity of the destination.
Phoenix is one of our larger winter markets, actually. In some cases, it's, if you add up all of the Phoenix destinations, we end up with close to that being our top market for certain months of the year. So I think this is a good play on their part. I think a lot of people are going to use it, and we're very excited about it. So
Plone says the new seasonal routes will give area residents an opportunity to easily escape the winter months for a getaway. Despite coronavirus concerns and many changes to the annual Billings Clinic Classic celebration, this year was another big success. Total numbers are out today with 6 golf tournaments, multiple drawings and silent auctions, and a never-before cautious COVID-19 celebration at home. The Billings Clinic Foundation netted $650,000 in support of patient assistance and employee crisis funds. Many long-standing supporters of the classic cause redirected their gifts to the COVID-19 Innovation Fund, which provides additional personal protective equipment throughout the region. Well, here's something that you don't see every day. Last Tuesday, the Giantess Geyser in Yellowstone Park roared back to life after a period of more than 6.5 years without erupting. The Giantess Geyser is located in the Upper Geyser Basin of Yellowstone National Park. It's known for its infrequent eruptions and violent shakes when it does erupt. Still ahead on the MTN 9 o'clock news, in a pickle, a new app is creating new ways for rural Montanans to travel. We'll show that to you coming up in just a bit, but first, a roller coaster ride of temperatures. Bob McGuire's in next with your full 7-day forecast.